What controls you? Courage or fear?
I believe I know what I can get this.
Choices, chances, and consequences. The decisions that you make or don't make, they're going to affect your
future. What controls you? Courage or fear?
I believe I know what I can get this.
choices, chances, and consequences. The decisions that you make or don't make, they're going to affect your
future. What controls you? Courage or fear?
I believe I know what I can get this.
choices, chances, and consequences. The decisions that you make or don't make, they're going to affect your
I know I ain't crazy. Yeah. No love for whoever's standing in the way. If off the mall, we all gotta win a day. I ain't perfect, cause even though I sin, I pray. I'm a man of my word, I mean what I say. Anything that I do going forward is for you.
Black Men Cry Too is an invitation for men of color to feel safe to share their truth and unpack their hurt. My name is Catherine, aka Retro Barbie, hashtag Bright Hair Dark Liquor, and I created this space as an invitation for Black men to feel empowered to know it's okay that they can cry too.
Everyone, I'm K.S. Lewis. You're used to me as an author, and I hope you've had an opportunity to read my books, The Game According to Life and Love Notes for Life. However, I'd like to invite you on a new journey to watch my show, Love Dish. So, Love Dish is the infusion of two things that I'm most passionate about, relationships and food. I'm talking to people around the DMV and beyond about lots of topics surrounding love and relationships, but we're also cooking a signature dish or creating a signature cocktail. Now, why are we taking that premise for this show? I'll tell you. Many of the significant things that happen in our lives happen around food, whether they are milestone birthdays, weddings, engagements, first dates, crucial conversations. Doesn't matter. A lot of those things happen around food because it makes us comfortable and it puts our mind at ease. So why not talk about love and relationships while we're doing the same thing? So join me on YouTube. Again, Love Dish. People that you love, food that you love. I'll see you soon.
Choices, chances, and consequences. The decisions that you make or don't make, they're going to affect your future.
What controls you, courage or fear?
I believe by the toi ka get the thing.
What's up? It's your girl, Falashade Okenmoken, the owner of Unscripted TV. And I'm just here to let you know that we have a new show. And it's called Redefining Now, where we discuss redefining moments from the past, coming up in the future, while talking to some game-changing movers and shakers making history right now. Hey, everybody. Hopefully, you're doing well. Welcome to Redefining Now, where we discuss current events, trends, and influential people across the diaspora, and in that order. I'm your host, Falashi Okenmoken, the creator of Unscripted TV, which is the interactive cinematic experience that's bringing you amazing Black content in an immersive way. If this is your first time joining us, then thank you and welcome. We're going to be doing this every Tuesday at 8 p.m., even if we're under the weather. So please send me some positive vibes and energy. I've been having a little headache for, I guess, like 2 days now. So just send over that positive vibes and energy. But anyway, we're going to be doing this every Tuesday at 8 p.m. So if you're interested in taking part, please feel free to connect with me. My email is below. And I would love to hear from you and make sure that we're able to connect. If you're viewing on YouTube or Facebook, head on over to www.unscripted.tv where you can get the full experience. There's a live chat, interactive capabilities, all that fun stuff. So feel free to join us there. Today's show, we were supposed to have a really great guest who was going to talk about tech and activism. Things happen, so hopefully we'll be able to get him back on at another time. But it is July, which means that we are in the second half of 2021, which means that the world is open and we're doing a whole bunch of things. And this month, we're celebrating Black family. So July is Black Family Month, and that might be a month that you didn't know was something that was a celebration, but I definitely want to make sure that we get to celebrate that. So we'll be talking about that, but we'll also be talking about the importance of journalism and Black-owned media for and in the Black community. And then, of course, how to celebrate Black Family Month. And I mean, we're going to just talk about what's coming up and how we got some big news that's on the way. I've been teasing it for a while, and I'm pretty certain that I'll have a date to tell you guys when it's going to be coming for real, for real. But anyway, let's just get to it. So, of course, we've been teasing for a long time that we have a big announcement to make. And part of that big announcement was the fact that we are partnered with Bloco. Bloco is a Black-owned business directory with over 20,000 downloads. As you know, Unscripted is the interactive cinematic experience that's really bringing fresh, new, redefining narratives to the silver screen. Silver. And we run for free, but the goal has always been to increase the lifespan of the Black dollar in our community, and that would be cooperative economics. So in order to do that, we've partnered with Bloco, and they're pretty much the directory with all types of Black-owned businesses to support in local areas, Black local areas. So if you go to Raleigh, you can find the companies that are listed in Bloco there. If you go to New York, or even Washington, D.C., all of the companies that are a part of that are in this amazing app. And what makes it even more cool is that we'll be working with them to bring these businesses to the silver screen with Unscripted so that they can advertise with us and so that they can advertise and to empower the content creation of these amazing content creators that are on our network already. So I just wanted to show you the video so that you can check out more about Bloco. And if you're a business and you want to sign up and get a special reward, use the code Unscripted, all caps, UNSKRYPTED, and let us know about that. But let's get this video on so that you can check out more about Bloco.
Hey y'all. Okay, so I have a question. Who's looking to support Black-owned businesses? Everybody? Good. I have the perfect thing for you. Bloco Search is a nationwide directory and app for Black-owned businesses. So that means you can find businesses across the entire country, especially local to your area. So visit our website today at www.blocosearch.com and make sure you download the app. Visit the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store to get started today. Remember, we can make a difference together and be the change that we want to see.
I'm not gonna be overly dramatic. I'm gonna cut to the chase because
I'm giving y'all teasers that y'all are not supposed to be seeing yet. So, of course, right now it's time for Redefining Moments. And Redefining Moments is when we discuss moments in time that will affect our community or that already are. I definitely wanted to jump right into a few things, but I do see that we have some people discussing what their redefining moments were for this week. And one of the ones that is listed is Sha'Carri being disqualified from the Olympics. And that was something that I really can't believe I did not write down as part of this discussion. So I do want to touch base on that because one of the things that I take pride in and that Unscripted is really focused on is making sure that we're amplifying the voices of Black people. And we were really excited when we saw that Sha'Carri was breaking records, had ran that amazing 100-meter dash, and was authentically Black. And then you started to learn more about her story, and they dove in so much, like finding out about the death of her mom, finding out about her love life. Like we dug so much into her life. To the point that people started trying to find ways to tear her down. And it sucks because we are in America where we're working our butts off to try and change the trajectory of what we've gone through as people, as Black people in this country. And we've brought to the table countless times are amazing skills and talents. The Olympics, her running in the Olympics, her qualifying as first place, and like not by like a hair or anything, like her actually getting through that race, and being first place and going to the Olympics and sharing all of that. That was a big moment for our community. A lot of people looked up to seeing her on the screen and seeing her being her authentic Black self. And then for them to announce that she was being disqualified because she had weed in her system, um, was heartbreaking, but it wasn't surprising. And I'm not saying that as if, oh yeah, she was smoking. I'm saying that as if it wasn't surprising that this is what is happening in America. We always find some way to tear down Black people who are doing great things. And the reason why it's so crazy, this whole scenario, and yes, you don't want to compare apples to oranges, because people were talking about Michael Phelps and the whole weed issue and how he kind of promotes it and how he was still able to be in his race. But the thing is, one, this is a cannabis friendly network because we have had so many amazing Black people be put behind bars for longer times than people who are being um, for longer times than people who are actually being um, killed. Like Derek Chauvin actually killed Floyd, George Floyd, and he received less time than somebody who had like a small amount of weed. Like, I'm not going to give you guys the wrong information, because obviously I really should have had this as part of our discussion. But the reality is, weed is now legal in America, and there is now a huge booming business for weed in America. And where she was smoking, it's also legal. And then they're trying to say that it was used as an enhancement for her running in the Olympics, which we all know is not true, or at least I know is not true. If anything, it would have slowed her down so she calmed down, or it was probably helping her take care of all of the stress that she was going through with the death of her mom just a week before. I'm not making up any excuses for anything that she did, because obviously we know, and she knows, that she wasn't supposed to be smoking. But the reality is that it's legal, and it should not still be taxed as hard as it is, or as heavily as it is, especially when there are so many people that are capitalizing from it, while people that look like us are being thrown under the bus. And I just know. I don't know. It really bothered me when I saw that she was being disqualified. And I am big on the boycotts. Honestly, actually, that's what we were going to talk about. We were going to talk about the importance of journalism and Black-owned media, and why it's important for us to do boycotts. And last week we touched on how TikTok has this huge media bias, and that Black TikTokers decided to boycott TikTok with the dances, and how the tea was hot with people not doing these dances, but the dances that were coming from other content creators was extremely lukewarm. So it was funny to see that, but then also we were able to see that TikTok didn't do anything to actually enhance it. They actually made it worse. Which was something that I really wanted to touch base on. So in order for me to properly explain what I'm talking about, I think it's easier for you guys to just see what I mean, and the importance of media bias. So with that, what I want to say is that the definition of media bias is when journalists or news organizations allow their own opinions to affect the news that they report and the way that they report it. According to some critics, and this is taken from the book Media Bias and Overview by Simone Isadora Flynn, but she's saying, according to some critics, the media is capable of employing an elaborate and sophisticated array of techniques that allows reporters and media owners to slant news stories in favor of particular groups or interests. At its most blatant, intentional bias is similar to intentional lying and censorship, but bias is often subtler and thus less detectable. Now, the reason why I decided to explain that to you, and yes, we were talking about the news stories with Shakari and how they were able to slant that and turn that into a big deal. But also, when we talk about media bias, we also have to think about people who own platforms and own networks and things of like unscripted. So TikTok is one of those places that is owned, obviously, by not people of color, but yet we bring all of our amazing enhancements, talents, and skills to the platform. And recently, with the boycott that I just mentioned, there's been some enhancements that were added to the app. Now, check this out from a TikToker so you can actually see what enhancements I mean and why it's so important for us to actually have Black-owned media. So here you go.
I'm going to be overly dramatic. I'm going to cut to the chase because I am not feeling well today. I said I was going to give you more about what was going on yesterday. And I'm very emotional because I lost a friend last night. So here's why I'm frustrated. If I go into the creator marketplace and I put supporting white supremacy and I hit accept, it's okay. And it lets me have my asking rate at $500. White supremacy. But God forbid, let me put Black Lives Matter on there. Watch. It says it's a threat. Boom. Inappropriate content. Can't say that. I cannot say Black people. This is my screen recording. And this is why I'm pissed the fuck off. We're tired. We're tired. Okay? Black success. Boom. Inappropriate content. Anything Black related is inappropriate content. But Black can't say it. Let's take that out of the equation. Supporting white success. The same adjectives I was using to describe us on this app. It's allowed. It's allowed. White voices accepted. $500. Pro-white accepted. $500. But let me say pro-Black. A threat.
Yeah. So that is part of media bias and media control, to be honest with you. And I just think that it's important for us to talk about Black-led media because some of these apps are Black-led, and then talk about the importance of Black-owned media. And we do have a clip from a recent episode of Redefining Now where we talked with Todd Brown about Black-owned media and advertising in the spaces and why it's so easy for the world to just kind of skip over actually putting Black-owned media in places to be able to share their narratives. And then there's so many other topics that could be brought up, but we had some things switch around with the show, so I'm gonna kind of skim through those. One of those is the discussion about Bill Cosby. And then, of course, the discussion about Howard University, which is actually in here twice. I think I'm going to have to touch base on those next time because now I need to actually get back on track because we do have Flip in the building and I do want to be able to bring him up and talk with him about a few things. So let me just talk about who he is and why it's so important that he's on with us today. And again, sorry for my energy, you guys. I have a headache, so I'm trying my hardest to get this back on track. So please stick with me. But okay, so Flip was born and raised in South Central LA. He's deeply rooted in creativity, activism, and solving unique problems. Over the years, he conceptualized and created his own virtual reality headsets to serve kids in his community with high-quality technology at an affordable price. During Hurricane Harvey, one of the major hurricanes that struck the Gulf Coast, he mobilized his local and social media following to gather enough material to fill a moving truck and personally drove them to Texas. Over the years, while noticing the youth in his neighborhood lacking constructive outlets for recreation, Flip organized countless tech learning sessions as well as neighborhood Nerf dart wars. How fun to fill the gap. You see the trend here: creativity, activism, and problem solving. Additionally, the creation of VVP noodles, proficiency in AR, VR technology, creation of unique art projects, as well as being an active father to his young daughter, gives you a window into this genius level, innovative creator from South Central LA who's primed to impact the world. He just recently opened the doors to his virtual creative office space for his company 88 Ideas. They'll be hosting they already hosted their virtual ribbon cutting ceremony, which would be the first of its kind. Since 88 Ideas is a design firm, they don't need a physical space immediately, but have built virtual offices and will open the virtual doors. Come on and explore the 3D environment just as you would an actual building. And then they'll host their virtual events at the space and keep people updated as to what they're working on through their offices. Of course, we're actually going to get some updates on what that ribbon cutting ceremony was like, how he got into tech, and everything else under the sun. So right now, we definitely want to bring him on. So just give me 2 seconds so I can get him on up here. And all right, let's.
Oh, I'm out of the meeting room. Good.
Oh, how are you?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine.
That's
How are
great.
you?
I'm great. I'm great. And I'm hoping that the camera's going to clear up a little. There it is. It's coming in. Yeah, there we go.
All right.
All right. So first of all, yes to this hat with the 88 on it.
Okay, this is a brand that I work with. The homeboy EJ and his business partner started a brand called Numbers. So yeah, he put any number on the front of your hat, so it was only right that I put the 88 on the front of mine.
That's what's up. And hey, a plug to another business. So shout out to them because that's what we are all about anyway. But while we're up here and getting this thing started, welcome. Please. I know I just gave like a nice little rundown of who you are, but that never does justice. Can you let us know about Flip?
It's easier when other people talk about me. I'd rather sit down and let other people do it. Um, yeah, to me, I'm in my body every day, so I feel I feel normal to myself. Um, yeah, first thing I would label myself as a father, like I have an autistic daughter named Journey, the most amazing young lady in the world. Yeah, father. Uh, yeah, I'm a son to my parents. Uh-oh, did I lose you?
Nope, I'm still here. I was just letting you
Okay.
speak. I was giving you your
Okay.
own space.
Okay. Um. Okay. So yeah, I come from a big family. I got a lot of cousins, little cousins, big cousins. Uh, my immediate family is small though. Like I got one brother, older brother. Um, yeah, I those are the most important things about me. I'm a follower of Christ. Like yeah. But then yeah, I'm creative. I like to build things, whether it's building them physically with my hands or if it's digitally designing something. I have a degree in computer aided drafting and design, which assists me in like basically doing what I can do physically in a virtual or digital space, which is how I got my job and all of that kind of stuff.
All right. Well, no, that's great. I think you did a great job, and you definitely gave us some insight on more about you because, um, I like we highlighted a really dope nonprofit before that talked about it's called Here on Purpose, and she has an autistic son, and then she has a daughter that has a disease that I cannot name. Like she actually like listed it one time and it was like a crazy name,
Yeah.
but like like we like sometimes we don't get to navigate the journey that people have when they do have children with special needs and everything like that. And for you to be able to do something creative with your daughter and then to take it out to also the rest of the community, I think that's big and that's dope. So shout out to you. Happy belated Father's Day. Like that's
Thank
needed,
you.
you know?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
But like now that we know a little bit about you, definitely tell us about 88 Ideas.
Okay. Um 88 Ideas is oh, let me let that go by. You hear that?
No, they
Oh,
were giving you your siren. They was letting us know how important that it is.
okay. So I probably should have been talking into the microphone
That
this whole
sounds
time.
good. Yeah.
Okay. 88 Ideas, although it's it's what, maybe it's 7 months from conceptualization, from the actual, I'm gonna call it 8 Ideas. We opened on May 23rd, which is my birthday. But 88 Ideas has to be 6 or 7 years in the making. Um, my first dive into entrepreneurship, I came out with a virtual reality headset called the Fliptendo. It was a it's somewhere around here, but Fliptendo VR was a headset, and it came with a controller and stuff like that. We charged $65 for it. The reason I made that headset was because I got the Samsung Gear VR. I still have the Samsung phone that I bought. When I bought the phone, they give you free stuff with it, or you get it at a discounted rate. So I bought the Samsung Gear VR, which was a headset, a VR headset that would work with my phone. The only problem was that Samsung, you had to have a Samsung to play it. Like, you had to have a Samsung phone to use the Samsung headset. And Google had a headset, but theirs was cardboard, and people kind of looked at it like a Happy Meals toy or something. So, but there had to be like some sort of happy medium in the
Mm-hmm.
market, and there really wasn't. There was no one that was actually, like, you could download virtual reality apps onto your phone. So if you could do that, like, and they didn't have to be Samsung apps or nothing, like, why would I need a Samsung headset? So I ended up making a headset
Wow.
and selling it, because I knew, like, all right, my little cousins, I got a lot of little cousins, they wouldn't be able, they always ask me for my headset. Can we see a headset? Can we see a headset? And it's like 6 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
2016 or something. But they couldn't, I knew they wouldn't be able to have a $500-$600 phone and a $200 headset. Like, and it shouldn't just leave because I leave. Like, when like, I shouldn't just always, like, yeah, it shouldn't be I bring one headset. Like, no. So I made something to where all of them could have them. And one Christmas, yeah, we end up selling out of Fliptendos. I maybe sold like 200 or 300 of them.
Hey.
But I built Fliptendo into a website, Fliptendo Electronics. I had plans on being the Black Radio Shack. My slogan was technology doesn't cost that much, and it was the same premise as the headset. You can get equal, you can find comparable technology, but you don't necessarily have to spend the money. Um, but once that got rolling, I kind of, I stopped doing that, and
Mm-hmm.
then came a noodle company. My daughter spearheaded that. I took a break, because that's when I found out my daughter had autism. So
Mm-hmm.
I kind of took a step back from everything, and my daughter really liked ramen noodles. Like, she liked to eat when she was little, and
Mm-hmm.
children with autism, like, they won't just eat anything. So if they end up liking something, you're kind of stuck with, like,
Yeah.
feeding them that for a second. So she was digging noodles, but, like, she couldn't possibly eat ramen like, that kind of ramen. She couldn't eat top ramen every day.
Right.
I made fresh noodles. So since I was making noodles for her, it was an automatic impulse of mine to make it into a business. Like, I always do that. I always did that. Anything that kind of interests me, I would turn it into a business. So I did the noodles and launched the company. Did very good promotion and marketing and everything, and launched it. And yeah, I was a vegan at the time too, so it all went into the thing. So yeah, I launched the company. I did
Mhm.
one event and then I stopped. I didn't like the fact that what I liked being in the kitchen for had trapped me into the kitchen. Like I had to stay there. And I literally haven't made noodles since I stopped the noodle company.
Does she
But what
still eat noodles though?
Yes. Well, no. She doesn't eat. Yeah, she doesn't eat ramen noodles like
Okay.
she did anymore. She switches to pizza and stuff
Okay.
like that now. Like you, yeah, you have your runs of certain things that she gets tired of. I can't feed her noodles right now. But after doing that, I did something else. And what I was realizing was every time that like it got to business, handling business transactions, it becomes a job. I didn't want to do it anymore. I love designing it, building it, marketing, doing all of that kind of stuff, but I didn't actually like working for the company.
Mm.
Like so I was building things. So even when I came back to Instagram, what I said, I made a promise to myself. I won't start another company. Like I'm not. I took entrepreneur out of my bio, and I'm just gonna have fun, just hobbies and whatever, and people could just follow me that way. And that's what I end up doing. So that's when people start to learn about my daughter because I start to build things. Like I turned a water, not a water cooler. It is a water cooler. I turned a water cooler into a jacuzzi and designed it and everything. Turned a kid slide into like a waterfall for so I'd start doing projects with my hands because it was it was something that people didn't necessarily know about me, but my dad was like a contractor, so I
Mhm.
knew how to lay tile. I had all of these type of like carpenter type things. So I just creatively start building things, building things. Um, So this is a very long answer for tell you about 88 ideas.
Right.
And but it's important because 88 ideas was the result of all of that. It was I no longer wanted to be the face of products. Like that was my problem. Every time I built a product, I would have to become something to represent
Mm.
the product. Like I didn't want to be just the tech guy. Like I didn't want like Flip was the tech guy for a second, and I had to make videos about new tech that was coming out. I had to say stuff about technology, even the business stuff they tell you. If you're gonna be successful in here, you post this many times about
Yeah.
something and everything. So I end up getting. Yeah, I end up realizing like I keep getting trapped in that, and I have a coach, Mike Dorsey. Um, yeah, Mr. Double Down on You. He helped me navigate through that time, like navigating through like why do you keep stopping things? Like people my family members always joked about it. Like
Mhm.
you're just gonna stop it in 4 months. Like you're just gonna give like although it was like even if it had success, like you're not a type that stays with something. So 88 ideas was basically me saying that I won't necessarily um do the business of the products, but I will design products for other people. I'll
Mhm.
design it lets me just be the idea guy. Like I can just come up with great ideas, but I don't have to represent them. I can actually target someone to represent a product. For instance, just because we're here, um, Are You From LA was the first.
Exclusives.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
So Are You From LA? It's a trivia game. And it basically just if you say you're from LA, you should know the answers to these questions.
All right now.
And it take you through a series of questions of landmarks and certain food spots and whether or not locations are safe or not. Like, you know, only people from LA would know the answer to the question. So that was my first idea to be like, okay, I'm gonna find someone who has an audience that already
Mm.
looks for this kind of content but they don't necessarily have any products. And that's the problem with, not the problem, I'm sorry. That's an issue I've seen with a lot of our influencers and stuff. They're undervalued. Like they only can get money from like YouTube and things. And I have this concept in my mind that like products are just packaged content. So like you shouldn't look at your content as like only like for YouTube or something like that. Although YouTube is a great thing to build, but if you really think about it, they give you cents, half a cent, whatever, off of every view.
Yeah.
But like every view is a person that kind of acknowledge that they support your content or like your content or something. So instead of only packaging your content from YouTube, not telling them to not do YouTube or not make t-shirts with their slogans on it or whatever, but they have to find creative ways to package their content up. Everybody's won't be a trivia game, but somebody's is.
Right.
That's definitely a product for somebody. I already know who it is, but I guess I can't say it yet.
Right. See, we getting the
But that's
secrets, but yeah, no, I like that.
so that's the concept. That's the whole premise behind 88 Ideas. We're a creative output studio. We experiment with stuff. The virtual office building is, since I know since I since I can operate in technology, and technology, these type of technologies always seem inaccessible to our community, as if like only other people can develop what augmented reality, virtual reality. You're hearing all this stuff about NFTs and everything. When we're the drivers of culture,
Right.
of what's cool, what's not, we have to be in charge of being able to develop the things, to be able to manage the things
And
into it.
distribute.
Exactly. Exactly. So I'm big on, I don't have a problem with certain products. I just don't necessarily like low hanging fruit. Like most of our products are usually that we offer as just in our community are low hanging fruit. So that's why when somebody like Ray J does earbuds, it makes noise and stuff like that because it's not necessarily low hanging fruit. When you did an e-scooter, it's not. Even when Soldier Boy came out with the game console, like
Right.
although it was finicky or whatever the case, like although everybody knew how he got it made and what the case was, the fact that he chose not to offer just a sweatshirt,
Right.
a hat, a piece of clothing or something, it gives. So 88 Ideas wants to empower those type of people to be able to make products and stuff like that aren't necessarily just your run-of-the-mill products. You need to
Right.
figure out, yeah, how to incorporate technology into your products and stuff like that, so that that's why Nipsey and Idris Sandu can make waves with an AR tag. And even still, like nobody still, it's like that type of stuff is unapproachable. And like I know, Idris knows, like everybody that knows, like I walked into the Grind to Be Rich store in less than 30 minutes. They were equipped with the technology to be able to scan their tag. But like, yeah, why don't more of us like know that like, hey, that's accessible, like, and we loved it when you did it with Nipsey's products and stuff like that. So it's just being able to have the ability to incorporate that into your projects. Maybe it's not a physical product, but maybe you got a project that's coming up. I work with a producer named DJ West, and he also has dope digital artwork. So it's like how you can package that up and design it in a way to like, yeah, yeah, give it out in a different type of way that that everybody isn't doing it. And like, so yes,
Yeah.
I'm still on the first question. That is what
but
API is.
but from that I was able to get a couple of questions from it. So one, I think it's really dope that you're doing that. One, because so unscripted kind of works very similar, where we're trying to pair up the content creators with businesses who have interesting products that aren't low hanging fruit, that can actually transform our community. We're talking about deodorant to people who make kitchen items and everything like that. So I really like that whole idea, but then also making sure that people are able to have access to someone like you, where they can actually like bring an idea to life so that they can do it themselves is even more empowering. And then another thing that you touched on that I actually think is interesting is the fact that you use your own skill to navigate what you're doing. And that's something that we don't see a lot of people doing anymore, like having a trade or having a
Oh,
hands-on
yeah.
type of thing. Like it really doesn't exist. I don't know if it's I don't know what it is, but I think that is something that is really important right now. So even knowing that you're able to do those types of things and then to help people bring their ideas to life, I think will also empower other people to get back hands on and use those skills and build back into that. So I actually would like to touch base on that because you saying that you built a jacuzzi and that you built this slide and that you did all these hands-on things, and then now that you're able to take it into the tech world, it's not, like I said, it's not something that we're seeing anymore. Like, we're seeing people kind of get creative a little bit when it comes to technology and being in, but we're not seeing the skills, the trades, those lifestyles being amplified as much anymore at all.
I think you're I I think you're correct in that they aren't amplified, and I and maybe it's a bit of a lost art. I heard someone say, like, I was watching I was on Instagram, and I heard a girl say, like, yeah, I don't know no men my age that know how to build. Of course, she was lying because, like, obviously she knew me. But the point was, but the point was, like, the sentiment was felt that, like, you can look around and, like, that may not be, like, high on, like, yeah, you need to learn how to get some money before you learn how to, yeah, build it. But I only got that skill. I have to attribute that to having and I don't know that you have to have a father to get the skill, but I don't know if I would have got a skill like that without my father dragging me to job sites. Like, it was child labor. He used me, but later on in life, like, I could take a job and a girl could pay me to build her a countertop because I knew how to tile. Now I'm just a creative version of my dad. My dad had to do necessity. My dad is very creative, but he built and he worked out of necessity. It was he had to provide for his family, so yeah, we were in people's houses, taking up carpet, yeah, and stuff. We was tiling floors, we was painting walls, we was stripping stuff, we was adding wood, we was polishing wood and stuff like that. So because I had to do that with him later on in life, yes, I realized that, like, I had been building projects the whole time, but it was just something that I didn't even show people. So, like, I was responsible for not amplifying a skill set that, like, oh, I had, like, that most people didn't know. And then I started to use it to show people and to like to express, or the highest form, like, the closest you can get to God is creating, making something out of nothing.
Right.
Yeah, something. I got an idea in my head. I'm gonna go get some materials. I'm gonna use some tools. I'm gonna combine some techniques, and ah, I built a cabinet. Like,
Right.
okay, I'm good. Um, so the ability to do that, I believe, it just, yeah, it helps you be very creative. I never want, even when I cooked and stuff like this. So this is, I guess that's just a trait, a creative trait that you would, I guess, look at people and say, oh, he's creative if he does this. It's the I never want instructions. Like I never want like a template to do something I'm curious about. If I'm curious about it,
Figure
I'll
it
try and figure it out before I look for the actual answer. I
out.
never cook. All the times that I cooked and people followed me for that stuff, all the like I never I'll use I'll look at stuff for like guides and stuff like that. Like, all
Hmm.
right, but like I'll have to go about it myself. If I took I would have built a jacuzzi a totally different way if I would have looked at like how do you build a mini jacuzzi.
Right.
But in my mind, I knew like, all right, and if you think about it, it's pretty simple. It's not rocket science. A cooler has something you can fill it up with water. It holds water,
Hmm.
and if you unplug it, it'll drain the water. So if you need to, and the whole thing was you need to pump water out of it into somewhere that holds warm water or that can warm water up, because I can't warm water up inside of it with the girl. Like
Right.
something hot will be in there, and that, yeah. So I had to pump water out of it into a separate bucket, heat the water up in the separate bucket, and pump it back into the jacuzzi.
Yeah.
And so even that's just a closed loop
Figuring it out.
water system. That's just one pump that if you know what you're looking for, like a submersible pump, you can put it underwater, it'll
Hmm.
pump out water. You can put another one there, and you got a closed loop system. So
Right.
it, I think creativity is just the ability to combine simple principles together, though. Like
Hmm.
get creative about how you do simple things.
Yeah, and still, you know what? Shout out to dad. And for you having a dad, it is Black Family Month. And I do want to shout that out because um we support and love the Black family and we want to make sure that we're able to celebrate that. So earlier, if I didn't mention it, if y'all have dope pictures or anything like that, I'm just plugging this because time. If y'all have dope pictures of your family, or if you have like a family reunion coming up, definitely share those with us because we want to celebrate Black families that are really redefining the narrative. So again, shout out to your dad for being able to use you for child labor, but teach you such a
Straight
great skill
up.
that brought you that brought you to where you are now, where you're able to use your creativity to turn it into something else, and where you're able to also not only keep that within yourself, but share it with the youth, and to give headsets to kids that are more affordable. Like everything that you do, everything that you've been able to bring in, you've been able to push back out where it was um a positive change for somebody else. So like you took an idea, but then you were able to turn it into a positive change for someone else. And that's exactly what I see from 88 Ideas. And then I just want to like give you time to kind of plug 88 Ideas so that people can know how to reach you and what they can do to kind of get one of these ideas, you know what I'm saying, on the record.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, on social media, you can follow me at Life of Flip. It got
Mhm.
underscores in between the words. You can follow 88 Ideas at 88 underscore two underscores ideas.
Mhm.
Um, and that's on all platforms. Although we haven't posted and stuff on all platforms yet, we're still building a solid foundation on the one that we're at to be able, and enough content and stuff to be able to spread abroad. So that's, I mean, we sold our first product. We do these things called dumps where we do like a fantasy collaboration. So like our first do I have one here? Uh yes, I do. One second.
Okay.
No, I'm not going. Okay, so um our first product that we released was, we did what we call a Hot Wheel dump. So what we did was we took a Hot Wheel. If y'all can see this, guys,
Yeah.
this is a rare one. But we took a Hot Wheel and I took it apart. Basically, you can. Is it still?
And my son would love
So,
this.
so yes, I I mean, you can take Hot Wheels apart.
Right.
So you took it apart. I changed the wheels on them. I painted certain of them gold and everything. So that was the theme of the first one. Everything was gold. So I released 22 Hot Wheels. We sold out before we even opened the doors. Um, and and yes, so technically those were the only products at the moment that you can get. Are You From LA will be out in approximately 4 weeks. If
All
you're from
right.
LA, you for sure should get one. And if you're not and you know somebody from LA or saying they from LA,
Test
for
them.
sure. Yeah, for sure test them. Um how you can support 88 ideas. I mean, if you know
Mhm.
somebody that needs a product, obviously we would consider ourselves the fastest way to get from an idea to a tangible product
Mhm.
in Los Angeles, at least. So you can contact us if you're trying to work on a if you got any type of creative product. It doesn't have to be a physical product. It
Mhm.
can be a digital project. We creative directing an album. We work with, like, I got a children's book that we helping the
Yeah.
girl animate and stuff like that. So yeah, it's if it's creative or if you need creativity inserted in something,
Mhm.
yeah, we're the guy, whether it's physically or digitally. Um, I
And
always say the best way people can help me is not. I mean, it would be great to spend money with me, but I have no way for you to do that right now. But um, just bring me up in a room that I'm not in. If I don't have the physical ability to be in a room and like you see the room is cracking in a way that, yeah, okay, yeah, just bring Flip up, tell somebody about me, and that'll be adequate. Like, I'd appreciate that.
and we have inquiring minds that want to know when is the Flip Tendo coming back so that we can get that too.
Okay, now this is interesting. Do y'all want to see the Flip Tendo? I got
Yeah,
one here.
show it to us, please. Who they want? Flip, flip, flip. Y'all remember that song from Lil Flip? Oh man.
All right, so
Oh
oh,
wow.
this is one with stickers on the front. I do have
Okay.
a Flip Tendo around here, but it says Flip Tendo on the front of it. You put a yeah, take your cell phone, put your cell phone in the front of it, but you would have to load up the VR app and you take it, put it on, and
Oh wow.
you can get cracking.
Sweet and
Um,
simple.
so yes, this was the Flip Tendo, and it came with a controller too. Um, I got one of those laying around here too,
Yeah.
but
So we want the retro version to
yeah.
come back out. You know what
Oh,
I'm
you can.
saying?
I don't know because I promised people that 88 Ideas, since it helps brands and stuff like that, like we help design products, those are products that can be mass produced and stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
if we do something, we'll always, yeah, we won't oversaturate it. And
Mm.
I promised the VR headset collectors that I wouldn't release anymore. That
Oh wow.
since they supported
Special
me
collection.
during that time, that they get to hold on to that, and as big as I get, the more valuable the product they can. If
Right.
I made more, it would
Diluted. You know what?
devalue the product that
I
they hold. So yeah,
I
that's my
respect
promise to all my people.
I
So
respect that. So Huey, no, you can't get a flip Tendo. So
oh, I got a couple in the vault. I got a couple in the vault. So if
I
I got like 4 or 5 of them. If you grow to be that valuable to me, I might, I might slide you one. So
all right, well, you heard it
say that.
here first, and then that means Huey, you gotta bring it on set one day so we can check it out too. But Flip, no, I'm congratulations to you with everything that you're doing. We want to continue to see your success in everything that you're doing with 88 Ideas and all the other great ideas that you're gonna be able to touch. Um, Now we are at the end of our show, and it feels great to have learned more about you. But I know that we'll definitely have you back on, especially as you start getting into the works of things, where we can start sending people to you and getting things on the road. But just wanted to thank you for being on here tonight.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Not a problem. It was my pleasure. It was my pleasure. Sorry I was late.
It's quite all right. We figured it out, and we flipped it and made it work. So that's all that matters. So with that, I just want to make sure everyone knows. So one, thank you. I'm about to pull you off the screen, and I'm just gonna tell them a couple things, and then we're gonna keep this, and then we're gonna end the show. But let me see. So everyone, I just want to say thank you all for being on here. We do have another show that just started back up for season 2, and that is Cash Color Cannabis. So make sure you check that out on Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On Fridays, we have the Tragedy and Triumph back on. And we got some new things that are coming with that. We have some big announcements coming. So definitely stay tuned and check those out. We appreciate you all, and we'll see you next week. Bye.